Thank you all for attending tonight's Candlelight Vigil in remembrance of Lisa Germain. For those of you who don't know me, I am Lisa's only child, Erica. I am truly blessed to call her mom. She often referred to me as her apple. Others say I have her smile and her spirit, and sometimes I open my mouth and her words come out. For those things, I am honored and proud. It's not really possible to put all the wonderful things about my mother into words. She was just that awesome. My mother loved being a mother. Even though we often joked that I am the mom and she is the child, that just wasn't true. Her pride in me has always inspired me. She was always there for me for anything. She always found a way to provide everything that I needed or desired in life. My mom loved me unconditionally. I'm not sure there is a deeper love than that which she has for me. She also made sure that my life was full of amazing people, like the ones here today, to love me as well. Just as important, or maybe even more so than our biological bond, my mom was also my best friend. That's not a title that always comes with motherhood, but we've never had it any other way. We made so many great memories together in the last 33 years. Just to name a few, some of my favorites are trips to the Caribbean together, learning to cook with her, going to concerts, and chatting about our love for our shared profession. That leads me to this. My mom was a magnificent nurse. For most of her career, she worked with babies and young children. She had an incredible passion for this. When she took care of a little one, whether for one day or for 5 years, she loved them like they were her own. My mom was known to keep her relationships with families going long after they were discharged from the hospital. A few families have honored my mom with the role of godmother. Others have included her in birthday parties for their children, welcomed her into their homes to grieve the loss of their child who passed into heaven, or invited her to attend baseball games, preschool graduations, or days at the beach to watch her former patients grow into healthy, happy miracle children. Everywhere I go, I hear a story of how my mom was so-and-so's nurse and how dedicated and compassionate she was. My mom was a much-loved younger sister. Although Susan Carroll and my mom no longer shared adjacent bedrooms at their childhood home, they shared a bond of sisterly love that no amount of time or distance could ever break. Susan called my mom Barney because as a young child, my mom always loved to be around her, stuck to her like a barnacle, whether it was trick-or-treating or just the younger sister tag-along. My mom and Susan have a shared love of the ocean, nature, and sitting around the holiday table longer than all the others, as Susan's husband referred to them as the Pick Sisters. My mom and Carol were known to go on shopping adventures together, for anything, but always for curtains, as Carol was my mom's go-to for interior decorating. Their shared humor got them through some of their hardest days, always sending silly messages or buying quirky gifts that only the other could understand. Carol's husband admires that my mom was never afraid to jump. She was never afraid to try anything. She truly lived life. Susan and Carol gave my mother nieces and nephews that she adored, not only as babies, but as friends later in life too. Even though my mom's parents passed away years ago, my mom continued to talk about them as if it was just yesterday that she saw them. She was proud to be their baby girl and took solace in the belief that she would see them one day again. She cherished many memories with her dad and loved to refer to herself as Beep, the special nickname that he gave her. My mom also talked of her own mom, especially when cooking or baking, always using recipes that were handed down to her. Most recently emulating her own mother more as she searched the cat food aisle for her own cat's favorite foods. My mom always had a special way with animals too. She found comfort in their unconditional love. Recently, she adopted Germain, a very treasured cat. They filled a void in each other's lives. On a special trip to Utah a couple months ago, she found healing in a majestic Mustang named Noble Moon. Animals loved her because they could sense her genuine heart. If you were lucky enough to call my mother your friend, then you were truly blessed. As you know, she would do anything for you, at any time, with no judgment. She was always selflessly supportive of those she cherished. My mom loved to go out to listen to live music with friends, sometimes to sing it herself. She was happiest when on the dance floor, letting herself feel free, or when bathed in sunshine and salt water at the beach. Many of you had wonderful relationships with my mom. You've shared smiles and tears. You've agreed and you've argued. You've been there for each other, never keeping score. But most importantly, you've left your prints on each other's hearts. My mom was truly grateful for every person she walked a path with, no matter the length of time you walked together. Unfortunately, my mother's earthly life was taken from her 5 weeks ago, on Sunday, October 29, 2017. That night, my mother went to Dunny's Tavern in East Brookfield, where she loved to be a part of the blues jam on Sunday nights. She loved to just go see friends, smile, and dance to the music. As she was leaving at 6 p.m., she crossed Route 9 to get into her car that was parked on the road facing westbound. The eastbound driver stopped to let my mom cross the road. As she crossed, the westbound driver did not stop and struck my mother. Then the westbound driver continued to drive away and left my mother to die in the road. Many amazing people rushed to my mother's aid. Some called 911, others alerted friends to what happened, and some stayed by my mother's side as she lay there. Despite all life-saving measures from bystanders, police, firefighters, EMTs, paramedics, nurses, and doctors, my mother did not survive. The driver did not come forward and has not been identified. Investigators have released images of 3 vehicles that may know information about what happened. They are asking anyone with any information to come forward. They are asking anyone who witnessed the accident or anyone who stopped to assist to also come forward to provide more information. If you know anything, no matter how insignificant you think it may be, please contact the East Brookfield Police or the Massachusetts State Police. Encourage everyone you know to do the same. Their contact information can be found in the leaflets available tonight. It can also be found on our Facebook page, Justice for Lisa. My mother was far too amazing of a woman to have this tragedy written into her story. Justice needs to be served for her. My family, friends, and I need answers. We need to be able to put this part of the tragedy to rest so that we may honor my mom and grieve our deep loss. That dreadful Sunday night was stormy. It's not a coincidence to me. The heavens were angry. My mom was an earth angel who shouldn't have left us at 54 years young, so full of life and love. I know she is a heavenly angel now, but she's not far from us. My mom is still all around us. She's still loving us. She is the one giving us strength to make it through these miserable days without her physically. It's only natural that we are having a roller coaster of emotions right now. We are all heartbroken, angry, frustrated, confused, devastated. But we need to remember how my mom lived and would want us to live too. That is with love. We need to let ourselves feel what we feel and grieve it in our own way. But we also need to carry her memories with us and let her make us smile from time to time, to feel her love and to love her back. Our lives are all brighter for having her shine her light into them. Let us honor her by living life like she did, being kind to others, and continuing to spread her light and love until we wrap our arms around her once again. If your candle is not lit, please light it at this time while I read a short poem, followed by a moment of silence in honor of my mother. A candle to remember, may it burn ever so bright, as we look to the heavens on this very night. Beyond the stars, my dear mom soars, embraced by her Savior on paradise's shores. As the angels protect her and sing her sweet name, we honor her life with the glow of this flame. Thank you for gathering to honor my mom. Take this time to offer condolences to one another, share memories, or simply to listen to the lovely music provided by Lisa and Brett Brumby. When you decide to leave for the night, let's not leave each other's lives. Be sure to support one another, keep spreading the word about this tragedy so justice may be served, and always keep my mother's memory and love alive. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.